give me a chart to read and do, like, I could probably do the chords. I've not done it for a while, but I'm sure I could do that again. But yeah, playing over different chords and knowing what works from a theory perspective, that's like the opposite end of the scale for me. I can't do that at all.
Yeah, I mean that's a tricky one, sort of learning the theory. And it's one of those ones that once it clicks,
Yeah.
and you start to learn how everything works together. You stop thinking of things in terms of keys and start thinking in terms of relative position.
Yeah.
And when you make that jump,
see, already I'm like, I can't imagine what you're talking about. Right?
So, for example, going back to being a pianist and everything, I think of C as 1,
right.
and then D is 2, E is 3, and you start to think of
is that
things
like the mode?
Well, it's kind of like modes, but it's sort of almost chord positions. So you'd have what's known as 4-5-1 finish, which is quite a standard classical one, which in the key of C would be F, G, C.
Yeah.
But then if we wanted to do it in the key of B flat, that would be E flat, F, B flat. But it's the same progression, just in a different key. And you start thinking of it in terms of that, and that's when you make that jump. Suddenly, the theory. It's probably the biggest theory jump, that we're sort of starting to see things in terms of their position in the overall scale rather than the actual note.
See, that it's weird because as soon as you started saying that, I'm figuring out where my shapes are, if that makes sense. So even though you were saying it starts to click in my head, I'm going, well, it's just that same pattern, but
exactly.
somewhere else.
I think the guitar is an absolutely fantastic instrument to learn on because it's always that pattern. You've not got these sort of random sort of intervals and things in there. You just go up the notes, and you can find those easily. So there you go. Lesson for the day.
I've got a question for you actually, if that's all right.
Yeah.
And it's something that I found quite intriguing over the years, is the idea of people that are knowledgeable about music theory or have come to the guitar in particular from other instruments. How do you approach improvisation?
You see, that's probably in terms of my improvisational skill on the guitar, it's probably the one thing I'm actually any good at.
Right. Okay.
It's that I naturally fall into a Dorian. I just like the sound of Dorian. I know where Dorian fits in the scale. So yeah, I approach it from that side of things almost. I stick with what I know from theory, rather than thinking about where I am on the fretboard. You'll see at the beginning of most solos, as it's kicking off, I've probably got the volume right down and I'm just listening to where I am in terms of key. It's like, right, okay, there's my note, root note, so right, okay, now I know what I'm doing in terms of sort of position and where the notes are. So it's almost
an interesting one.
It's the opposite end of the scale almost. It's coming at it from the different direction. It means that I'm absolutely rubbish at learning riffs and learning sort of bits of music that people have written before. Because for that I kind of need to know what it was that they actually write. But from an improvisational side of things, I'm generally a bit better on that background. I mean, the biggest one for learning that actually in my background is probably my sax. I used to be pretty good on the sax, so
I'm sure you still are.
Well, it's just probably reasonable, but I haven't played it for ages, so I wouldn't know. But you learn quite early on, because the sax is very much a jazz and swing instrument. It's played in punk and stuff like that, but really its roots are in jazz. So you learn to improvise or die, basically. You sort of start playing in a band, and within a couple of years, someone's saying, right, okay, you're in front of a crowd, you're taking solo on this one. Great, okay.
You see, what's interesting about that, and the reason why this actually, it's funny that you said that, because where my question comes from is that I used to play with, it was like a rhythm and blues orchestra, but they had, so it was like a blues band, old school style blues band, but with a brass section and everything else going on. And I remember a girl sax player said to me, I don't understand how you can just do a guitar solo, like how do you improvise? So, and she's coming from sax, right? And she said, if I've not got the notes in front of me, or I can't see the chords, or I can't see something, I've got no idea what to do. But for me that's the opposite, like I have to hear something, and I'm sure on the little jam video that we just did, there was bits where I was like, okay, I can hear that note's not right, and then that's influencing the shapes that I kind of know I could play.
Yeah, I mean that's ear training more than anything else, and I think that's something. It does depend a bit on your background as to whether your background is sight reading, your background is from ear. And I think if you learn from ear, you learn improvising a lot more fluidly and a lot more easily.
Yeah.
Because you know, like you're saying there, you kind of know what works. You can hear how it works. If you learn from sight reading, you can become a phenomenal session musician. I wish I could sight read like some of my friends who've gone into like the music industry and things. And you know, that's perfect for session musician, but it's rubbish for doing improvisation because, as you say, you just come to where it just says improv
and it's like
music, and it's
there's
like
nothing written there, so I can't play anything.
I don't know what of these black notes should I be playing. And so I think there's two sides, and certainly playing in swing bands, you did get people who were very good at the sight reading side of things and not very good at the improvising. But it is a skill you can learn, and you can train your ear to hear sort of the intervals and things.